This spread feels less like a reading and more like standing in a doorway between realities. What strikes me first is not the death card, it's the north card. Because north is not a destination, north is a calling. It is the feeling that something is pulling on your soul even when your mind cannot explain what it is. Some of you have spent years trying to recreate old emotions, old stories, old versions of yourselves, only to discover that every road keeps leading you somewhere unfamiliar. That is because your soul has already left places your heart is still trying to revisit. The energy here feels like someone is standing between who they have been and who they are becoming. Not because they chose transformation, because transformation chose them. The X card sitting outside the spread, very fascinating. Spirit immediately says this is not about a person. This is about an identity, an old self, an old belief, an old narrative, something you once carried that can no longer travel where you are going. Many of you think you're grieving a relationship, a friendship, an opportunity, a chapter. But Spirit says you are actually grieving a version of yourself that existed inside it. The version that you believed certain things about love, certain things about worth, certain things about sacrifice. Certain things about waiting. And there comes a point on every spiritual journey where the soul gently asks, how much longer are you going to carry a story that has already released you? The friendship card sits between north and death and is very profound. Because Spirit is speaking about a companionship in a completely different way. Not romance, not partnership, companionship. The companionship you have with your own soul. The friendship you have with your own becoming. Some people spend their entire lives trying to find themselves in other people. Yet this spread feels like Spirit teaching someone how to become their own safe place, their own sanctuary, their own home. There is something beautiful, so beautiful about that, because once you become your own home, you stop asking strangers for directions. The death card feels ancient, not dramatic. Ancient, like a snake shedding its skin, like autumn releasing leaves, like the tide withdrawing from before returning. The skull does not represent destruction, it represents truth. Because everything false eventually dies, everything forced eventually falls away. Everything that requires you to abandon yourself eventually reaches its expiration date. And what gives me chills is that death is not the final card. Death is simply the doorway. The giraffe below north feels incredibly symbolic. Spirit keeps drawing my attention to its neck, its ability to see beyond what others cannot see, its ability to rise above immediate circumstances. Many of you are trying to make a decision based on what is directly in front of you. Spirit is saying your soul is operating from a much higher vantage point. What looks like rejection today may reveal itself as protection tomorrow. What feels like uncertainty today may reveal itself as alignment tomorrow. You cannot judge the entire landscape while standing in one small corner of it. The masculine energy and the feminine energy cards sitting side by side create the heartbeat of this reading. This is not about a man and a woman. This is about integration. For some of you, your masculine energy has been exhausted, constantly pushing, constantly striving, constantly trying to force life to happen. For others, your feminine energy has been exhausted, constantly giving, constantly nurturing, constantly pouring from a cup that needed filling. Spirit says neither energy is broken, they are simply being recalibrated. Because the future you are stepping into requires balance, not force, not sacrifice, balance. There is a reason these cards sit beneath friendship. The soul cannot always evolve through war with itself. Only through reconciliation, only through acceptance, only through allowing all the parts of itself to finally sit at the same table. What feels deeply personal about this reading is that Spirit keeps showing me someone standing at the threshold. Not rushing, not forcing, simply standing. Watching one reality dissolve while another slowly emerges. And perhaps that is why life feels strange lately, because you are no longer who you were, yet you have not fully met who you are becoming. You are existing in the sacred space between identities, between timelines, between stories, and those spaces can feel lonely if you don't understand their purpose. But Spirit wants you to know something. Caterpillars probably think they are dying. They have no idea they are becoming butterflies. Their old life always interprets transformation as loss. The soul interprets this as liberation. This reading feels like liberation, quiet liberation, the kind that arrives without applause, the kind that changes everything without announcing itself, the kind that begins the moment you stop asking what is leaving and start becoming curious about what is arriving. Because North is calling, not loudly, not urgently, just steadily. The way that destiny does. And whether you realize it or not, part of you has already begun walking towards it.